I know you've been here all day, and I thank you for still being here. I thank you for coming. And I'd like you to all just say thank you to everybody at your table for being here, for showing up, for wanting to learn and grow. It's important that we do that for each other. So who came here to learn how to be fearless? Only a few of you? Half of you? We've had some great speakers today, and I'm humbled to be on this stage with them, but I'm going to disagree with most of them. Fear does not exist. I know I'm being pretty bold with that statement. Fear does not exist anywhere except in our own minds. There are only 3 reasons why fear would exist. One of them is because we've had past traumas and it's been stored in our unconscious mind. See, our unconscious mind's primary directive is to keep the body safe. So if you've had a not good experience or a trauma in your past, your unconscious mind is going to go into fight or flight mode, put you in fear, and say, we were hurt before. Let's not do that again. For example, growing up, I was attacked 4 times by dogs. 3 just came out and bit me, 1 right in the ass. But the last one, was a St. Bernard, who was terrified of storms, and it was my neighbor's dog, and he picked me up by the leg and he shook me like a rag doll. What do you think happened after that? Anytime I ran into a dog? I was immobilized with fear. I would stand there screaming until an adult came along and looked at me strange because this dog's not doing anything. I couldn't move. I was completely afraid. There was no real danger in that moment. It was from my past experience that caused me to have that fearful reaction. Second reason why we can experience fears is what Trina was just talking about. It's all in our heads. It's those stories we play over and over. It's conditioning that we've had since we were children. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt. We've programmed ourselves so much to the point where we're afraid. By the way, did you know that public speaking is the number 2 most fearful thing next to dying? Yet here I am. And it's taken me a long time to get here. So the third reason that fear exists is the only real reason. And that is when you are encountering a real and imminent danger in that present moment. That is where the fight or flight comes into. That is where the adrenaline kicks in. That's where real fear exists, is only in that moment. Outside of that, it's all in our heads. See, I know a thing or two about fear. And I've lived with it most of my life. Having been sexually molested, physically abused, stalked by 2 different men between the ages of 9 and 23, I was always looking over my shoulder for someone else who wanted to hurt me. The life pivotal changing moments and time for me, even though through all that I had been, was in November of 2014. I started getting a rash on my body. I did not know where it came from. I had just joined a well-known MLM company that sold essential oils, and I was told to keep using the oils, that they were going to help. Within a few months, I had been to the emergency twice. I felt like I had been locked in a room with mosquitoes, fire ants, hornets. My body was covered. It was inflamed. I couldn't bend my arms or legs. I had lost almost 20 pounds in 2 months' time. I was skin and bones. Having been to several doctors and allergy specialists, I finally found out that it was the actual oils that had caused this. Throughout that time, I was praying to God every night to take me in my sleep because I did not want to live another day in that pain. It was a long journey for me. I couldn't leave the house for almost 8 months. I lost my home staging business. I ended up losing my house. It continued, and I would still flare up and react, and I didn't know why, what was happening. I was afraid to touch anything. I was afraid to go near essential oils, and I had become sensitized and allergic to so many of them, and on top of that, I had begun to get other allergies with my body, perfumes, fragrances, you name it. I had to revamp my entire life. So I know a thing about fear. The fear on the unconscious level of the visceral reaction that I have is because that was buried in my unconscious that says, you need to be afraid. This is going to hurt you. I went public with my story on YouTube in July of last year. At this time, or since that time, I've been contacted from people all over the world who have had similar injuries and sensitizations happen. I kept hearing this little voice in my head saying, you need to do more. You need to write a book. And I'm like, heck no, not happening, not writing a book. I put myself on a limb already out there. I already told the world I did my part, I'm done. And let's just say I got a lot of hate mail from it, from the people that didn't believe me. But then I saw how many other people were getting hate mail, and so many people were afraid to come out because of it. So I decided to write the book. My fear of writing that book was so strong that it took me 6 months to even agree to do that. And I said, I'm only going to write it if I have an expert write it with me so that she could help me dispel the myths and provide proper safety training. This was bigger than me. The cause was bigger than me. This is becoming an epidemic, and there are too many people getting hurt and injured. I had to do something. I just couldn't sit back and do nothing. So as scared as I was, I wrote that book. And not only did I have an expert write it with me, I had the leading chemist in North America write the foreword. And I had one of the top essential oil safety guys in North America, or actually one in North America and one in the UK, also contribute to the book because they all believed that this was so powerful to get out. From that, it was September of last year where I still didn't want to be here. My life was not what it was. I was stuck in that place. But I woke up and I said, all right, you got two choices. You either leave or you get off your ass and make something of yourself. So I got off my ass. And I decided that I was going to start doing what I had started before I was going to finish it. And now, my focus is to empower women and help women, especially those who have been through trauma. I have invested over $30,000 in the last 8 months to be able to stand here with knowledge and wisdom and to be able to help you on your journey. It was January of this year where I was diagnosed with PTSD. PTSD, me. I went home and I looked in the mirror and thought, PTSD. And I looked at myself and I said, fuck that. I am not owning this. I will not take that. And I switched the meaning of PTSD to pretty terrific, sexy dame. As I stand here in my power pose. Thank you. So as I mentioned earlier, the unconscious mind's primary directive is to keep the body safe, which is what is going to cause us fear, especially if we've had those previous instances. And I'm going to knock this off, I think. Nope, it's still there. It's kind of hanging on, sorry. The unconscious mind takes things very literally. So I want to talk a little bit about shifting your life and shifting your thoughts and shifting those fears and being the best you that you can be. When we have things that are programmed in our unconscious minds because of the fears, it's not easy to release them. However, as Natalie had said earlier, our thoughts create our emotions. So if we're living with that, our emotions are getting knocked down. Eventually, there's going to be something physical that shows up in your body and in your world. Let me give you an example of how. Does everybody know the game Jenga? Has anybody seen my Jenga on my table over here? Wondered what it was? Nobody asked. People always ask. You guys, nobody asked what the Jenga was. So the Jenga, as the game starts, is your emotional structure strong? That's what we should have, is a strong emotional structure. And anytime anything that's happened to you in your life, someone has said something to you like, girl, why you got those shoes on? You put on a little weight. All of that gets programmed into us. Anytime that happens, it's like one of those pieces gets pulled out and piled on top. The next thing happens, someone cuts you off in traffic. Another one gets piled on top. You have something traumatic happen, 5 blocks get pulled out and put on top until your emotional structure is so weak and the top is so heavy it has no choice but to crash down. This is where emotional breakdowns happen. This is where road rage occurs. This is where murders even happen. A little side note here. My therapist had told me about a study of inmates in prison who had committed an act towards another, a loved one mostly, of abuse, murder. They were all asked if they meant to do it. Why did they do it? 93% of them said they didn't mean to do it, that they were just in a fit of rage. They don't even remember doing what they did. Their emotional structure had broken down so hard, so fast. So this is what I do now, especially working with neuro-linguistic programming, is I help you rebuild your emotional structure so that that does not happen. So that we can take those blocks in and fill those holes again, and your emotional structure is once again strong. That is what I had to do. I've been on a spiritual journey for over 25 years, and I've tried a lot of therapies and a lot of different modalities, and nothing has worked as well as using the neuro-linguistic programming. And as Trina was saying before about shifting your thoughts, the average human has 50 to 70,000 thoughts a day. Did you know that? So what are the ones you're telling yourself that are repetitive thoughts? What are the ones that you can change? Those are the ones that you should be thinking and focusing on, because getting up here, I could have stopped down there saying, oh my God, they're looking at me, they're judging at me, my hair's frizzy because of the rain today, and I could have spun off that way, and I didn't, because I did my power pose. I stepped into my warrior woman and knew I was here for you. This isn't about me. This is about you. Okay? I have a free gift for you because I don't have time today to really go into a lot of detail. So if you'd like to come see me at my table, I will send you a PDF about shifting your thoughts and shifting your life. And it's shifting from low energy to high energy. It's paying attention to those thoughts, how you can do that and how you can shift your life. because I really want to give that to you. I want to gift that to you. And it's not easy by any means. It takes practice. I've been working at it for years. But you can do it, just one step at a time. So there are 3 ways that you can clear your fear. The first is becoming mindful of the thoughts you think and the words you say. And again, just work on one at a time. What is the one conditioning that you've had since a child? What is the one thing that you are focusing on that does not serve you? How can you shift that into a more positive way of saying it? Number 2 is shifting your thought or your language from low energy to high energy words. So, for example, I'll just give you a quick little one, using low energy words like hate, problem, and so on. How many times have you been in the store and somebody has said no problem? Your unconscious mind doesn't hear the no, it just hears problem, and it's like, whoa, you walk out of there, you don't know why you're feeling the way you're feeling. And the third would be get some help. Get some help to release those traumas, those emotions that are draining your energy. Whether it's working with me or somebody else, get some help. I'd like you to all close your eyes for a few minutes, please. As said already, I am. What you put after that can help to create and shape your reality. You can shift what you put after I am. And I want you to hear this. Breathe in these words. I am are 2 of the most powerful words in the English language, for whatever you put after them will help to create your destiny and your reality. These 2 words used together have a great impact on your consciousness and help you to gain access to the gates of manifestation. It is because of these words that you can now affirm to yourself that every day and every way you are getting better and better and better. I am powerful. I am worthy. I am successful. I am joy. I am abundant. I am deserving. I am worthy. I am determined. I am safe. I am free. I am grateful. I love and accept myself unconditionally. I am bathing in a river of courage and strength. I am brimming with energy. Yes, of course, if you said it, then it is now true. We create our present moment from the accumulation of our past thoughts. This gives us the opportunity to grow into a greater version of ourselves, our best selves. You see, it is your responsibility to create the life you desire. It is your responsibility to think thoughts that serve you so that you can accumulate moments of joy in your life and inspire others to be in awe of your glory. These can be your words, your beliefs, and your affirmations. So if you're ready, listen as we make some more declarations. I am fully capable of thinking thoughts that improve the quality of my life on a daily basis. I am open to receiving so that I can reach levels of harmony between myself and my relationship with others. I am living on purpose. I am love. I am light. I am abundant. I am an open channel for creative ideas. I am a believer in myself. I am thinking thoughts that are filled with high energy. I am balanced and strong. I am now committed to take full responsibility for all of my thoughts, actions, and experiences. My thoughts about events and people are creating my emotions. I am the master of my thoughts. I am the creator of my life's moments. I am blessed with many things to be grateful for. I am motivated and inspired to make the choices that are now for my highest good. Don't just listen to these words. Feel them. Chin up, arms open, gleaming smile on your face. Feel these words with conviction. Your energy has been invested, your faith has grown stronger, and your passion for creativity will reach an all-time high. You now have a reason to keep dreaming. Today is the day, now is your moment. Release yourself from the conscious constraints that cause you to live with limiting beliefs. You are a beautiful expression of your life. You are a unique and very special person. I am who I choose to be. You are who you choose to be. You are limitless. You are universal. You are an absolute and complete miracle. Now go live as one. Thank you.
Stacey Haluka.